everyone, welcome back to Christy and Lynn's POE channel. Today we're sharing a 10 Divines budget version of our Poison Spiders build. It's dealing significantly less damage at 4.4 million, but we can still take down all of the Uber bosses very comfortably. And since this version is more budget friendly and beginner oriented, I will just quickly explain how to summon the spiders. First of all, you wanna hit Desecrate twice to make sure there are enough corpses on the floor. And then hold your Divine Ire, then click the Rising Jar Flask. You can check the top left corner of the screen to see if the spiders are being summoned successfully. The maximum number of spiders are 20. Now with the basics out of the way, let's go into the passive buildings to see what are the cheaper alternatives to make this build work. So we still have this Aracheli's Fane with no enchants whatsoever. Nothing special about it. And for the shield, instead of the very pricey Squire, or not even a Aegis Aurora, we're just using a rare shield with a lot of armor and elemental resistance. For the helmet, we're switching back into the very popular Ancient Skull. It's a 1C helmet, very cheap yet very powerful. For the body armor, we're still using a Hunter Redeemer rare body armor with 3 very important mods, which are you can apply an additional curse and increase effect of non-curse auras from your skills, and the increased effect of offerings. This may seem very expensive, but I will be talking about how to craft them. You want to go find a Hunter body armor with T1 effect of offering and a Redeemer body armor with T1 aura effect, and then combine them with Awakener's Orb. Once they are combined, use suffix cannot be changed on your bench craft, and then craft reroll caster on your harvest bench. If you still have an empty prefix, you can then bench craft life on it, but it's not mandatory. For the glove, we're using the SNS Gentle Touch. There's no carotid mods whatsoever, and around mid-league, this glove will become very affordable too. Plus we're getting the explosion, which is a very nice quality of life when we don't have as much damage. And instead of the Ashes of the Star, we're using the Oaths of Pricing Amulet, as suggested in our previous video, which has the Envy has no reservation. The rings, we're just looking for as many elemental resistance as we need, and then some increased damage for our minions. Next is our jewels. Note that this version has no cluster jewels whatsoever, and yet it is still able to reach 4.4 million Uber DPS, which is very impressive. The key item for our jewels is still this unique Anonymous Gaze Ghastly Eye Jewel. And then for the rest of the jewel sockets, we're just stacking Ghastly Eye Jewels with Manian deal increased damage if you used a Manian skill recently. If there's Manians deal additional physical flat damage, that is also nice. And don't forget you need immunity to corrupted blood on one of these jewels. Next is our passive tree. Since we're not using the Devouring Diadem, we will have to manually travel all the way to the right to get the Eldritch Battery. And then the rest of the passives are actually very similar. We're just taking life, jewel sockets, Manian damage, armor, and block chance wherever possible. And because we're not using the cluster jewels, so we have so many more points available to invest in a lot of life. As you can see here, we have almost 6k life and more life nodes and armor nodes. For the mastery, we're doing 20% increase effect of offerings. Minions have 252 accuracy rating. As I already explained in our last video, our spiders are using Viper Strike, which is an attack. So they do need a little bit of accuracy rating, otherwise they will miss their attack. And we have a life mastery here and the aura effect mastery. And this block chance mastery will give you a lot of additional block chance based on the block chance you have on your shield. Another life mastery. Here, let's take a look at the difference in skill gems in this version. Since we're not using Ashes of the Stars, so we're also not using many of the alternate quality gems because we cannot scale the quality as much as the expensive version. First of all, our weapon. Instead of a 6 link, right now we only have 3 links. And the bossing setup will be different from the mapping setup. For bossing, we're using multi-strike, withering touch, and predator. And for mapping, we're using melee splash, minion damage, and withering touch. Predator not only gives us more damage than minion damage support, you can also control your spiders better, especially on boss encounters that has multiple targets, like Uber Elder and Maven fights. On our helmet is our Malevolence setup, and again, because we don't have Ashes of the Star, so we cannot reserve as much mana. So here, we're using 2 support gems to make Malevolence possible. First is a Divine Blessing, which makes the Malevolence a temporary buff. Second of all, we need Inspiration to reduce the mana cost of Malevolence, because we don't have enough energy shield. Then we're linking Malevolence with Generosity, just to make it more powerful for our spiders. On our boots, we're using Tempest Shoal, Desecrate, Poacher's Mark, and Vow Haste. Because Haste has received a considerable buff at this league, so it's totally worth it to have it as one of our permanent aura. On our body armor, we're using Defiance Banner, Determination, Molten Shield, Shield Charge, and Flame Dash. As you can see, we don't even require a 6-linked body armor for the setup. And on our shield, we're using Convocation, Despair, and Divine Ire. On our glove, we're using Cyclone, Casual Channeling, Bone Offering, and Flesh Offering. If you can afford a 6-linked body armor, I will move this Casual Channeling setup over to your body armor and put in Despair and Poacher's Mark. That's 2 less buttons to press. Okay, that's everything we have for the budget version of the Poison Spiders build. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. We will read and reply everything. For now, please enjoy our Uber Maven fights, and I'll see you next time. Bye!